بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وأفضل الصلاة وأتم التسليم على سيدنا ومولانا وحبيبنا وشفيعنا محمد. This is lesson 4 of the introduction to the Tarbawi Tafsir, entitled Understanding How Scholarship Works in the Islamic Tradition. The path of sacred knowledge is from humility to tranquility to magnanimity. Consider the following advice of the mother of Sufyan al-Thawri to her son, rahimahumullah, who passed in 161 Hijri. يا بني اطلب العلم وأنا أكفيك من مغزلي. يا بني إذا كتبت 10 أحاديث فانظر هل ترى في نفسك زيادة في مشيتك وحلمك ووقارك، فإن لم ترى ذلك فاعلم أنه يضرك ولا ينفعك. O my son, pursue knowledge, and I will suffice you with my business. My son, if you write 10 ahadith, look into yourself and ask, have I increased in my way of walking, in my motivation, in my forbearance, in my dignity? If you see otherwise, then know that the knowledge has harmed you and has not benefited you. We all begin at the same starting point. We are all worshippers. Put talabul ilm aside for a moment. We begin as worshippers. So, pardon me, learning the fiqh of worship, fiqh al-ibadat, fiqh al-tahara, fiqh al-salah, fiqh al-sawm, ila akhirih, this is not talabul ilm. This is 101, what it means to be a Muslim, and what is required to be a devout servant of God, and what is entailed by saying the Shahada. Today we call that talabul ilm. Why? Because the standard has been so degraded that we are comparing ourselves to those who have no concern for their religion at all. They're just very neglectful and complacent. Then we think that anyone who does the bare minimum above that is a talib ilm. No. Afwan, that's not the case. The basic obligations are actually to be taught to children, not adults. Historically, the first primers in creed and fiqh were memorized by kids, the way timetables are taught to elementary school students today. I can tell you a very personal story, which is that my journey to talab al-ilm began with a lot of tawbah, a great deal of repentance. Why? Because I wasn't taught these foundations as a child. So when I reached puberty, which is the age of taklif, of legal responsibility, and I came to this realization, my journey began with just seeking repentance for not having fulfilled the bare minimum obligations. I didn't consider myself a talib ilm. We were just trying to reach ground zero, to not be sinners, to not be of those who meet God having not fulfilled our obligations. So this is the humility with which we must approach the path. To determine one's location on the map, they must first understand the path itself. Only then can there be true journeying. It's like we say in fiqh, for the traveler's prayer, there's a threshold distance that must be traversed before it can be considered valid. So, after fulfilling the basic obligations that every Muslim must complete, then we become students, and then we can say, okay, I'm studying Islam academically, or in the sight of Allah, I'm studying or reading about topics that are a bit theoretical or beyond my personal practice, and that doing so might be an act of worship. But before that, pardon me, it is all vanity. Because if a person claims that they are seeking knowledge for the sake of God, and they don't seek the knowledge that is necessary for their immediate relationship with Him, or they don't use that knowledge to gain nearness to Him and to become clear of sin, both outwardly and inwardly, then they are not a seeker of knowledge. and only God knows what they are actually seeking, and we ask Allah to keep us firm upon the straight path. In stark contrast to our times, this attitude was well known among the previous generations of Islam, such that even a non-scholar, a saintly mother, the mother of Sufyan al-Thawri, one of the giants of the Salaf, knew better about the adab of knowledge than most of our generation combined. God's mercy be upon them. So, first things first, we are worshippers first.